If you don't think that AI crypto is going to be some of the biggest gainers during this bull market, then I've got news for you. I think you're wrong. This is Nvidia. It's the world's third largest company, and it's up 12% today alone. They make GPU chips for AI, and that's how they've become one of the biggest companies in the world very recently. Not only that, but we're seeing BlackRock's Larry Fink, Elon Musk of Tesla and X, all leaning towards AI and its future in terms of an investment. But finding top quality AI projects can be tricky in crypto, because many of them have already got big market caps like Render, Fetch AI and Ocean Protocol. So how do we find new smaller market cap AI coins with huge potential? Well, you're in the right place, because I'm going to take you through exactly how to do that in this video, and I think we're going to find some absolutely killer AI projects if you stick around till the end of this video. So hit the like button and let's get into it. So why is AI becoming such a big deal? Well, according to Larry Fink, high demands of AI present a huge investment opportunity for BlackRock. Who else? Well, Elon Musk has just ordered Nvidia to ship thousands of AI chips reserved for Tesla, as well as xAI. And they're some of the biggest CEOs in the world, but they're not alone. According to this IBM study, CEOs are racing towards Gen AI adoption. More than half of CEOs responding to a recent questionnaire sent out by IBM are pushing their organizations to adopt Generation AI more quickly than some of their employees are comfortable with. And it's anticipated by the year 2030 that 1% of the US GDP will be being spent on AI and AI development. But there's a problem with this. I've talked about it in previous videos. AI scaling issues. Because of the development of AI and the demand that's going on within that particular space right now, it's causing problems. And these are some of the problems that you can see here in this visual. Gemini Ultra cost $191 million to develop. GPT-4 cost $78 million to develop. And then you can see a bunch of other large language models that cost a huge amount of money. Why? Because it's incredibly time consuming, and the demands for the GPU power to support these projects isn't really there right now. And this means that traditional providers for GPU power, etc., like Amazon, can't keep up with the demand and they're hiking their prices. And this means that it's a very natural move to move away from Web 2 into Web 3. And this is all evidence as to why Render, one of the top performing crypto assets in the kind of upper echelons of crypto, has already done more than a 35x since the start of 2023, obviously having had a recent pullback, with the rest of the market cooling down a bit. But this shows us something very positive to look for. But Render's already got a $2.1 billion market cap, which makes it pretty big and probably isn't going to be able to deliver the 50 to the 100x's that we're looking for in a top quality AI project. But looking into Render in more depth, I've started to understand that there's also something else happening within these AIs and where these AIs are starting to move to. And they're moving away from the likes of Ethereum towards Solana. So finding out why this is, Render upgraded to Solana because Solana is much faster, cheaper, and able to handle the broad vision of the Render network within the AI ecosystem. And jumping across to DeFi Llama, I think the growth of AI within the Solana ecosystem is what's leading to this growth of TVL on chain. Not only that, but we're also seeing a significant shift in volume over to Solana. And looking into the price charts, you can see that Solana is already one of the top performers of the bull market so far. It's broken out of this descending triangle pattern. Right now, it appears to be retesting this upper level here, as well as the kind of W pattern that we've got going on, and I would anticipate seeing Solana moving higher from here. And guess what? When Solana moves up, coins on Solana tend to move up as well. Okay, so we're looking for an AI coin that's going to be able to handle some of the GPU demands and things like that is also on Solana. So I thought, yeah, well, I could go across to CoinGecko and I could sort and look for artificial intelligence coins, but I was like, yo, it's giving me a ton of different coins. I don't know if they're specifically what I want. Also, they're not necessarily on Solana, because then I have to go and sift through and find the Solana coins amongst all these. And then I had what I would call a pretty smart idea, and I thought, well, let's go across to CryptoRank.io. Why? Well, CryptoRank.io allows you to see different organizations that are investing into different crypto projects. And guess what? Solana has a foundation, basically an investment arm of Solana that invests into projects being built on Solana that it sees being pretty fit. And I thought that Solana, being a multi-billion-dollar company, would have pretty smart minds working on their investment arm to identify different cryptocurrencies that potentially could be of interest to us. And going to CryptoRank and searching for Solana Foundation brings up this page, and then you can see all of the companies down below that the Solana Foundation has been investing in recently. And what makes this even easier is not all of these companies are AI. You can see a bunch of them are GameFi, some of them are DeFi, and what we're looking at is blockchain services, but also blockchain infrastructure. Now, basically, you can go through and sift through and find out what these are, because some of them, like public AI, clearly is an AI project. So clicking on public AI, let's find out a little bit more about what's going on here and whether it fits into the narrative we've already been building for ourselves behind what we want to find. And coming down below, I can see public AI is a decentralized marketplace focused on data annotations in the field of artificial intelligence. The project leverages blockchain tech, blah, 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 blah. Okay, is this of interest to us? Well, not really. Well, because if we go back to what Larry Fink said, the power demand of AI is a huge investment opportunity. Therefore, we're looking to stuff that's going to work with the power demands for AI, not just the implementation of AI. And then you can see there's another couple here, but this one, TAI, TARS Protocol. TARS Protocol is an advanced AI-driven and scalable Web3 infrastructure within the Solana ecosystem. You can see it's backed by a large number of different investors, but most notably the Solana Foundation. Coming across to Twitter, I can see they've got 200,000 followers, and I can see that they're followed, one by Solana, very important, and a bunch of other kind of bigger KOLs in the crypto space. So let's go across the website and see if we can learn more and see if it really fits into what we're looking for. Solana's AI infrastructure introduces TARS powered by GPT-4. Remember, GPT-4 cost $78.4 million to develop, but ultimately is white labeled so other projects out there can use it, which is what TARS AI is obviously doing. Supercharged GPT-4, TARS is an AI infrastructure capable of training AI models, monetizing data, and providing access to powerful GPUs. It's an advanced ecosystem for modular AI applications backed by the Solana Foundation. So does this opening statement fit with what we heard from Larry Fink and also what we heard in IBM? Remember, power demands of AI is effectively referring to the training of AI models. Elon Musk is ordering all these NVIDIA chips, and TARS AI is effectively providing access to powerful GPUs. It's an advanced ecosystem for modular AI applications to be integrated into businesses, which is effectively what we heard on the IBM study. Okay, interesting. Well, TARS allows you to train AI models within minutes and a fraction of the cost. Okay, now it's piqued my attention, because remember, one of the biggest things that's just been referred to in multiple different things that I've brought to you is that it's incredibly expensive to train large language models. Not only is it expensive, but it can also take months. Now you're like, what on earth is a large language model? Let me wind back a bit. A large language model might be like Claude AI or ChatGPT. Basically, what you can do is you can ask it questions and then it's going to return an answer like it's kind of an actual person rather than like a Google type way. But obviously, to be able to do this, it's incredibly demanding because you have to feed it huge amounts of information. Not only that, you then have to train it on how to respond to different questions in different types of ways with different types of answers. And that's as far as I can get explaining it to you because it absolutely boggles my mind when I try and think about how to train a large language model. And TAI is the AI layer for all Solana applications. Okay, so from what I understand, this is basically a layer built on top of Solana that AI models will come and build themselves on top of, utilizing the speed and cheap costs of Solana to be able to provide an AI service. Therefore, it's a solution that could potentially integrate Web 2 models onto Web 3, giving them access to decentralized GPU power providers and so much more. An AI hub of unique tools for data monetization, advanced token utilities, and mining. Okay, so there's also this, which is apparently coming soon, where you'll be able to stake tokens in order to have access to GPUs. I think this might be like an NFT, where you basically own the GPU, but you don't have the GPU in your house, because obviously those GPUs are more technical than your average computer, and you're then going to be able to earn rewards by providing that GPU to the network within the ecosystem, and then you're going to be able to earn the rewards paid in TAI tokens. And that's quite a cool way of doing it, because it means you're going to have to stake tokens and take tokens out of supply. Something else I always like to look at in tokens is the supply and demand model, and anything that can potentially take tokens out of an ecosystem to reduce the supply and ultimately upset the supply and demand model in our favor. Okay, so coming across to the overview in the docs, there's some interesting stuff to be seen here. TARS aims to bridge the gap between AI and Web3 worlds, providing a unified platform for AI-powered tools and services. Doesn't this keep reminding you of this particular article here, saying that the majority of the CEOs who were asked by IBM whether or not they wanted to integrate AI services into their organizations were keen to do it? And now you've got a platform that is basically offering that particular opportunity. And coming down through, you can see that they're basically focusing it towards the sort of non-technical organizations. Composability, ease of use, automation, and no programming required. This, I think, in general, is kind of like the future of where crypto's heading, okay? We've seen it in companies like BVM, building layer 2s on Bitcoin. You've seen it in like the TON ecosystem, allowing people to go and develop their own games and different things like that, all without having to have the experience or the technical experience. And that's quite a key thing because it knocks down a barrier of entry for projects to be able to go and build on top of platforms like this. Now, one thing as well worth looking at is basically the roadmap. You can see they've basically been building out this roadmap for a while. What I would quite like to see would be maybe the roadmap kind of ongoing. What I would probably like to see from a company would be like the kind of the ongoing roadmap into the future. So maybe that might be like a cause for like concern that there isn't obvious development going on or things coming out. Why would this be concerned? Well, because maybe I want to have kind of updates and news articles telling me that this is happening and that's happening, because it often could be a catalyst to drive more people in and ramp up the price. But after bouncing across to Twitter, that doesn't seem to be too much of a concern. They've recently partnered with ChainGPT. They hosted an AMA with the official BD from Solana, Yao Ding, and various other AMAs. Guys, if you aren't listening into AMAs for projects, you're missing out on so much, because there's so many amazing things that get shared about the future of different projects on AMAs. I haven't yet listened to these, but I recommend, if you're interested in any particular project, before you go and dive into them, go and listen to some of the AMAs. And obviously as well, like if you're interested in projects, it's worth giving them a follow. Maybe you don't have to dive into them, but if you start to see like multiple events and things and partnerships coming up, it could give you more of a nudge towards a certain project, showing that they're actually working quite aggressively towards achieving something. Okay, so all in all, this seems to have all the makings of the things we want. It's ultimately a project that is answering the demands and questions of some of the major news that's going out there. It's built on Solana, where other major projects are starting to lean towards and move their projects over to Solana, at a time that Solana as an ecosystem is outperforming the entire market, and will likely continue to do so through this bull market. Therefore, there's a potential that we'll see growth based off the fact the Solana ecosystem will blow up, and AI projects as well, where we get that crossover. It could be pretty promising for us. And looking at the fact that Render has a $2.1 billion market cap, Aether, another project that's working towards solving the GPU demand issue, you can see with a $300 million market cap, but with a fully diluted valuation of around $3 billion. As well, you've got IO.net with a 215 mil market cap and a fully diluted valuation of $1.8 billion. So coming across to Tars AI then, market cap at $15 million. Okay, fully diluted valuation is $121 billion. And what's handy, if you go back to Crypto Ranked, to this particular coin here, and you can go to any of the other coins, go to total supply, then you can see the circulating supply, and you can see when the unlocks are due to take place. So most of these tokens won't even be unlocked until the end of 2025 and into 2026. So does it have the potential to be able to reach like a Render market cap, even at Render's current market cap of over $2 billion? So at this valuation, 100x would take it to still a lower valuation than that of Render. Now, obviously, Render is a big token. It's been around for a lot longer, but there is a potential here for this, okay? So what's interesting here is we got a coin that's backed by the Solana Foundation that is one of very few that is solving the infrastructure issues that Larry Fink's been talking about, that Elon Musk has referred to, that IBM are talking about, that if it does 100x, then it's still of a lower valuation than Render is right now. But then obviously think about the fully diluted market cap valuation and how those unlocks might affect it. But it does seem to me like there's more of a potential of seeing like a 50 to 100x on Tars AI than there ever would be on, let's say, Render. So looking at the chart, you can see it's not been around for a particularly long amount of time, okay? Launching this on MEXC around the 2nd of May. And interestingly, it actually has performed quite strongly during a period of time when almost every other altcoin, this is like Render from March, that's just basically been going down, and AIOZ, etc., which hasn't been performing particularly strongly. But there's a fairly interesting pattern showing here. This is what I want to focus on, and it's actually the volume that you're seeing here that is generally, apart from this bit, trending towards the upside. As we're seeing kind of more volume starting to arrive into this particular token, that's of interest to me, especially after this kind of recent pullback towards the downside. So what patterns are we seeing emerging? Well, if you were very simply just putting it on here, you can see there is some form of a kind of a triangle or descending triangle forming, but multiple times around this kind of area, we've seen significant price pumps. Here we saw one 108% in just a couple of days. After a few more days, it went up 189%. From this next push here, we saw a dip back down. It went up 120%. We're kind of sitting in and around this area again. There is a good chance that perhaps if we could get down to around 10 cents, that I might be looking to buy into this. But already you can see that it's kind of tried to dip here and is getting bought up again. So if we see continued upside in the likes of Solana and then Bitcoin and AI coins, it's a bit of a no-brainer to me that this would be potentially looking to kind of break out here. And then we could see kind of a push towards these highs and beyond, potentially very quickly. In terms of price predictions, I don't really like to do these, but Ultimately, if you were to look at ecosystems in the past that did really well, we saw gaming exploding in the last bull market. Many gaming coins performed extremely strongly. When we have kind of crossovers between popular chains and particular ecosystems, that also could be another great catalyst. I don't see why this coin doesn't have the potential to outperform significantly the likes of Render, Aether, IO.net, etc. Which probably means it's going to be doing 30 to a 50x potentially and beyond in the future, but obviously I have no idea. And also, I don't mean in any way that it's going to outgrow in terms of market cap the likes of Render. It doesn't have to do that, okay? We're looking in terms of percentage growth. It doesn't have to be bigger than Render or not for me to make insane returns on a coin like this. Now, I personally don't hold any of this token yet, but I will be looking to try and get an entry if we see a little bit of a decrease in the price. Obviously, I 100% recommend you go and do deeper research and analysis into this particular token and any other tokens that I've talked about on this video or any others before you see whether you want to buy it or not. I simply wanted to take you through analysis on this video where we could look at real things that are going on in the market and make a decision on maybe an opportunity in front of us. Now, if you're interested in this coin or any other for that matter, then they're available on MEXC, link down below in the description. MEXC, 0% spot maker take fees. It is the cheapest exchange out there by a mile. Not only that, it has over 4,500 different crypto coins, which makes it the top pick for many traders out there. Now, depending on where you're located in the world, you may not be able to access MEXC. Therefore, I recommend you get yourself a NordVPN, link down below, where you can get 4 extra months for free if you sign up today. Not only that, but it's going to cost you less than $3 per month. Now, effectively, right now, I'm not connected. I'm in the UK, but I could go and click and say I'm now in Paris, and that would mean that I could access any website that is available in France or whichever country it is out there. Now, this is extremely powerful because not only can I access different websites that I might not be able to normally, but it encrypts my data. It means that people can't use spyware to see what I'm doing in crypto, and that's an incredibly important and significant thing. If you are trading crypto on any day or at any time, you need to protect yourself with a NordVPN. Link down below in the description. It's less than a cup of coffee per month. Absolute no-brainer, and this is the best deal you're going to get with 4 months extra free. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, guys, smash that like button for me. If you're new to the channel and you want to continue to do deep dives like this, then subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.